Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, magnificent, wonderful, genius individual you. Today, I would like to speak about striving and aspiring towards higher excellence. When we say excellence and, higher excellence in general, it is not meant in the materialistic sense. It is not meant like owning a beautiful car and a gigantic house and so on. It really is not about that. Higher excellence really is about unfolding one's soul and spiritual potential, one's understanding for life, one's higher knowledge in beauty and also in morality and in how to help people by, communicating clearly, more crystal clearly. And the more you also speak clearly, truthfully, and with elegance, the more of excellence you introduce into your life. Of course, we as individuals have to, in freedom, choose to cultivate and follow along on that path of interest, because it will not be given to you willy-nilly out of nowhere. It has to truly be cultivated. It is a cultured personality, kind of. The more we unfold ourselves in, any kind of variety of areas of study, the more we become well versed in changing our lens and our perspective based on where we need to see things. You can see things from many different perspectives and also all of them at the same time, in a sense. So you can have a variation of, topics of contemplation, really. It is all about keeping our inner being and mind flexible and striving upwards and towards a certain aliveness, a certain movement, a certain flex. I think I said that. You understand where I'm coming from here. You are actively within your nervous system to move your being. You are actively in your lungs to breathe when you meditate. You are actively within your heart, feeling in the present moment, sensing, sitting within your body and mastering it over time. When you are present within your body, your ego, you, not your body, not your, I don't know, whatever you would identify normally, you are none of those. Your ego is the bearer of your body is the bearer of your ego. Your ego is the controller of everything you have. And it is all about, again, working to win back your own body. That is the best way of describing it. Because think about how many impulses and willful forces that wants you to do things that is not healthy for you, and how often you want to, let's say when you want to meditate, everything that wants to distract you and drag you away from your meditations, these are forces that truly don't want you to develop and to grow, because if you grow to a high enough level, you can end up perceiving them. And that is the worst kind of reality for these beings, to be seen, because these are beings that scatter away once light shines upon them. So it is important to stay strong and sturdy within the light, and striving for excellence, for morality, love, understanding, compassion, but also intellect, true intellect, cosmic intellect that was introduced by Michael in ancient times and, has gradually been lost to us because the Christ is down on earth now and the cosmic intelligence is now within us, which we have to unfold. It is only the seed of the cosmic intelligence. It was inspired to us from outside in earlier times, but now we have to unfold this cosmic intelligence from within again. You see, everything has become inwards, more or less. Where everything was outside before, inspired before, now is from within. And we have to unfold those seeds with our own inner being and freedom and power, dedication and love. It is all about resolve too. Resolve is something that comes from within. Confidence also, and the inner strength to keep on going every day, to have a will to live, to have interest in life, to have a certain spark in creation, and yeah, taking life by the hand. So you are active within your own life. That is how you unfold your own inner potential. But it is about you getting to know yourself in many different variations of situations, and also having gone through many of your memories and truly thoroughly studied your own being. That requires time, effort and dedication towards healing. One need to long to wish to heal oneself, to be able to operate as fully and as unclouded as possible as a human being, without constantly being bogged down by fears and concerns, well, and also lower feelings of wrath, hatred, disdain, and inner turmoil in general. The more you meditate, breathe, and come into yourself, the more clear, calm, and collected your inner being is. Our breath has enormous influence on our emotions. So breathe deep, breathe stably, breathe consistently, and you will manage to ground yourself within your body, because when you are breathing, you are doing the physical deed of breathing, and hence you are within your physical body with your ego. You see, you can also choose to just as a funny example, you can go to your ego, you use your ego and move to your eyes, and then you can focus on blinking instead. But then you all of a sudden forgot breathing. You see, the ego can only focus on one specific thing at a time if you are here consciously with yourself. So if you are here breathing, you must breathe. Sit consciously in breathing. You cannot all of a sudden start to think about ice cream, because you will forget about breathing and go over to ice cream with your ego, with your focus. You see, your focus is kind of your interest, where you focus your intention, where you truly have a certain will to go into it with your own being in its fullness, to truly understand it. Then you have found something that brings life to you. That maybe might be your path, When it gives you an inner spark, you see, life is not all about being happy, having a smile on your face. I promise you, most wisdom comes from painful experiences. And, the past and so on. When we contemplate it, and that is where our inner strength comes from, because we learn from it, we grow from it, we truly can see where people comes from, where we came from, and so on and so forth, so that we can truly and thoroughly understand the situation and hence adjust ourselves thereafter to be more healing. It's people, when you yourself have been kind of accepted by yourself, you do not have too many fears about what others think, It is about holding that practice every single day. When you do, you can account for yourself. When you can account for yourself, you can close your eyes, go back days, weeks, months, years, and you can more or less account for, I know exactly what I have been doing, if you were wondering. It is all about having a certain feeling of every day absorbing and getting to be aware and take in memories and not let life pass you by passively. So that there are not many days in a row that you more or less have been sleeping, but being aware, awake. That is striving for excellence. The more awake and conscious you become in your own being, the more you will become aware of when you are conscious in your being. You do not wish to expose your being and let yourself think indignified thoughts, thoughts that might demean and might be degrading and disrespectful. And if we do, we really feel I at least feel really about it. That this could seriously been avoided, I let myself feel these feelings that is demeaning. And when I know better, and when I have that, and when you have practiced enough to be able to hold these impulses down where they belong, below the earth, these feelings of scheming, of impish behavior, of talking behind people's backs about things in the shadows. When you come into the light, you do not wish to expose your being to that. You do truly wish to uphold a certain sun standard, a standard of the sun. You keep shining. You keep being integrated into the light. And you know your own shadows because you have them with you. You do not run away from them. You are truly integrated within your shadow and light. And they are kind of, in balance. In a threefold beautiful balance. And it is about becoming conscious. Conscious of where we are dragged, what impulses are constantly playing and working through us, your inner dialogue, your inner awareness of your own being, your center, and how much you are willing to master your own self, your thinking, feeling, willing, your senses, your imagination, your inspiration and intuition, and how much you're willing to unfold your future potential. Because we need to look towards the future and move forward. When you do, you are guided by higher beings because you are connecting to a future version of yourself. If you can imagine a version of yourself in the future, that is a version that exists, you see. You can try to fantasize and imagine, but you quickly will see that it is a fantasy in relation to if it is a future you. I mean, in contrast to if it is a future you. You will truly feel the two different realities. Imagination versus fantasy. That means clairvoyance versus fantasy. So it is all about getting a feel of what you are capable of in the future and grabbing those seeds and cultivating them. And it is all about, first and foremost, purifying and purging ourselves, purging our own inner lower instincts and impulses so that we actually can get a feel for what is good, so that we can get a feeling for when someone is doing a good, beautiful and helpful, compassionate deed, we feel warmth, we feel a smile, a sunlight coming from the heart. And when we see the opposite, when we see someone in hatred, someone bullying and someone manipulating or lying, we feel the sorrow, we feel true, and we should want to have that feeling of distinction, because it is a feeling of beauty and ugliness. Obviously. What would you prefer of these two? Do you wish to be bullied? Do you wish to be lied to? No, none of us do. None of us really do. So it is about truly being, having integrity and striving for excellence, truth, honesty, the beautiful and the good, And you can get a feel for these things. They truly are warm. They are something that really is worth striving for, because it is something that gives your spirit and soul nourishment. And when you give your spirits and soul nourishment, you don't feel that void, that emptiness anymore. You have a purpose, you have a goal, an aspiration. It might not be happening in this lifetime, but you know that we are eternal. And there is far many more lifetimes than this one. And by preparing, you will become much more, have a much stronger and, well, more unfolded foundation in your next lifetime. It is all about sacrificing certain things for development. And this sacrifice is worth it. It is an enjoyable journey. It is a journey worth taking. And it is about having the courage to do so. Or if you let life pass you by. But don't do that. I know you won't do that. You are a brave, beautiful, wonderful soul that has the capacity, both potential-wise and ability-wise now, to unfold your being. It is about doing it now, becoming aware now, and sit within your being. And then see what happens. It is about giving that spark we have been given more firewood, so it don't die. You have to give yourself the firewood to keep going. And that is what I mean by enjoyable. When you have the will to give yourself the firewood, to go cut the wood, put it in your own furnace and keep going, that is when you know you have found the connection to the divine, you know. And I think I will leave you with this today, dear beautiful, wonderful sibling and fellow initiate and spiritual scientist. May we build towards a future that are both from the individual working towards the whole of goodness for everyone. So, love you all. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of old, higher hierarchy, ancestors from every incarnation, bless, protect, guide, love you on your individual path towards unity in individual freedom, love, dignity, and excellence. And beauty, of course. Must be beautiful. Love you all. Thank you. Goodbye.